Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome to the preview of Ajax against Barcelona live from the Amsterdam Arena, and it's going to be a cracker. This game does not need building up to start with. There's a lot of people saying, this is a massive match now, it's a really big game. It was a big game anyway. Every match in the Champions League now in our group stage is a massive game. After the loss of PSG, we need to come out fighting, we need to win every game, and we need to make sure we finish top of the group, so every single match in the Champions League really is a must-win. Going to Ajax as well, last season we went there in the group stage and we got beaten 2-1. Now everyone makes a big thing of that, everyone, saying, we got beat. I don't think everyone remembers that we did actually feel quite a weakened side that day. We played a lot of players who were on the fringes of the squad, but in that case though, you cannot underestimate Ajax. At home they got a fantastic home support, they're a great side, they had a really good win at the weekend, they won 4-0 against Dordrecht in the Eredivisie. They're on good form, they got some good players, a good manager there in Frank de Boer, so it's going to be a tough test, and especially at the form we're in going into the game. This is a very, very big game, the pressure's going to be high, the stakes have never been higher in a match like this because of the circumstances. We're going into the game on the back of successive La Liga defeats, the first time since 2009, and it is an absolutely huge game in terms of the Champions League and in terms of confidence. It's a big game for Luis Enrique. His team selection is going to be very, very key and is going to be scrutinised. He's got to pick the right team. Everybody's going to be looking at the names that's on that sheet. Anybody who's dropped, we're going to be analysing that, and anyone who's been brought in will need to certainly step up to the plate. And I think he will go for a bit of a mix of experience. I think he may well rest a few of the players, and there are a few injuries as well that he has to contend with. This is the lineup that I think Luis Enrique will go with. He will stick with Marc-Andre ter Stegen, the Champions League goalkeeper. He will start in goal. Jordi Alba is not injured as first suggested. He's in the squad, and I do expect him to start at left back. But if he's not fully fit, if he is still suffering a little bit from that niggly injury that he had after the match at the weekend, then I would expect Adriano to step in, as he's not had that much game time recently. Centre-backs will be Gerard Piqué and Marc Bartra. I am really hoping that that's the case. We heard that Jerry Mathieu has been ruled out for about 2 to 3 weeks. Bad news, Gerard Piqué will be recalled for this match, and I am praying that Marc Bartra finally gets his start, because he really, really deserves it, and he needs a chance to shine. Another man I'm hoping starts, he is included in the squad, Martin Montoya. We've hardly seen him this season. Luis Enrique doesn't seem to favour him in that right-back position, but after another poor display from Dani Alves, is it finally time that we see Martin Montoya try and make a name for himself and try and nail down that right-back squad? So, defensive midfield is the one. Now, it's a really weird thing, this is, because usually in the defensive midfield position there's no argument, is there? Usually Sergio Busquets, first name on the team sheet every single time. There you go. Not really the case now. I have to say, I think Sergio Busquets in recent weeks has been a little bit slow, a little bit tired. He's not been on his best form. He's not been the brilliant best that we can see from Sergio. And I always say, he's a phenomenal player. He really is one of the best in the world. But at the moment, he's not showing his best form. And if someone's not showing their best form, they've got to be benched, no matter who they are. You're not bigger than the club. You're not bigger than the team. If they're not playing well enough, you've got to put them on the bench. And you've got somebody in Javier Mascherano who can really excel in that position. We saw him in Argentina at the World Cup. He was outstanding in that defensive midfield role, and for me, he has to start against Ajax. Put him in midfield, see how he does. It's a big game. Let him have a go and see what we can do. And it will, give Busquets a bit of a kick as well. You're saying to Busquets, you're not going to be in the team every week. You've got to perform to be in this team, and that's what it's all about. The competition for places has to be alive. We thought at the start of the season we had all these players, all these positions, and there'd be a real fight for the places. But I'm still not seeing it from some of the guys, and I do think they do need a bit of a kick up the arse, because to be quite fair, Busquets, Piqué, there's a few players out there who really need to give a bit more, and they need to be a bit more intense when they're playing, and they need to fight for their place. And Luis Enrique needs to start stamping his authority on the team, and he should do that by starting Mascherano, starting Bartra, starting Montoya. And in terms of the midfield, Iniesta's still injured. Possibly Xavi could come in. We did lack a little bit of control against Celta Vigo. We did lack a little bit of control in the midfield. But I did like the way Rafinha played. I thought he had a really good game. I thought he was good on the ball. His first touch was always good. He was always looking up and he was always playing the ball forward and trying to be creative. Ivan Rakitic had quite a quiet game, but he gives us good energy in that midfield, and I'm pretty certain that we'll see him back to his best in the next game. But then, you can make a good case to bring Xavi in just to give us a bit more control, a bit more possession. But I wouldn't mind seeing Rafinha, and if it was up to me, I'd put him in the lineup, and I'd still go with Rakitic. I'd go with those two and hope that, they can give us a bit more with Mascherano just behind them. And in terms of the front three, there's really no debate when it comes to that. Suarez, Neymar and Messi, they were so close against Celta Vigo. All three of them had great chances to score, and I think on Luis Suarez's debut in the Champions League for Barcelona against his old club, going back to his home at Ajax, I think he's going to score. It's going to be his first Champions League goal for Barcelona on his Champions League debut, and we're going to win the game. So Messi, Suarez and Neymar starting up front, with Bartra, Mascherano and Montoya all being included. That's the lineup that I would love to see, and I really want to see a win. We've got to play well. The performance is important. The result is important as well. We've got to go in with a positive mindset. Luis Enrique's got to be bold in his team selection. We have to pick ourselves up. We've got to dust ourselves down, and we have to get the 3 points in Amsterdam. So I'm going to go with 2-0 Barca. I think it may be a bit cagey at times. We may be a little bit scared at times, with Ajax on the counter-attack. But we've got to stay strong, we've got to stay confident, and I'm confident we can get the win here, and I really do hope that we can get some confidence back in our side, because we really need it. So Wednesday night, Ajax against Barcelona. I'm going for 2-0. Leave your predictions down below. What do you think the score will be? Let me know. And I'll see you very soon in the next video here on Talk FCB. Thanks very much, and Visca el Barça!